This is the Precalculus ACP study guide for fall of 2015. This is problem 18. Carlos and John are standing 100 feet apart looking up toward a building. If the angle from Carlos to the top of the building is 30 degrees and the angle from John to the top of the building is 40 degrees, what is the height of the building? And this is a situation where we have two unknowns really, and what we need to do is create a couple triangles to work with, and it's going to be a system of equations. What we have is this one triangle that I'm going to now sketch here in purple, and here it is going up from John to the top and then down, and this triangle has a height that we're going to call h. Okay, there it is, height triangle h, and we have a side, this bottom side we don't know, we're going to call side x. So side x is the distance from John to the base of the building. Now we're going to construct a second triangle, and that's going to be from Carlos, and here we are at Carlos going straight up to the top of the building. And I'm going to label this in red, so going down we also have h. So there's h, that's the red h. And then for this distance from Carlos to the building, we call that distance x plus 100, because that's going to be the same distance John is away from the building, but 100 feet farther on down the road. And so what we have is a system, or can construct a system of equations. And so we're looking at the tangent of an angle, theta, equals the opposite over its adjacent. So using that, we're going to get two equations out of this. And so we're going to take John first. And so the tangent of that angle from John to the building, which is 40 degrees, is equal to the opposite over adjacent, which is the height, divided by the distance from the top, which is x, the base. So that's going to be John's equation, and then I'm going to go ahead and kind of color coding and make an equation for Carlos. And that's going to be the tangent of this other angle from Carlos to the top of the building of 30 degrees equals the height. That's the same. Now this time it's height divided by x plus 100. Okay. So now if we can go ahead and substitute into one of these equations from one to another and create an equation with one unknown, we'll be able to solve this system. And to me, the best way I know to do this is if we can go ahead and replace x with something in terms of h, and then we'll just be solving for h, because h is the height that we're trying to find in the building. And so we're going to go ahead and solve for x here in this second this tangent 40 degrees. So if we cross multiply the x is equal to our height h divided by the tangent of 40 degrees. Okay, I hope you can see that, because it's like we cross multiply the x, so now we have tangent 40 degrees times x, and then divide by tangent of 40, and so this would be what we substitute in for x in this second equation. And so bringing down that second equation, and this time with our substitution, we have the tangent of 30 degrees is equal to our height over, and now replacing with x, with h over the tangent of 40 degrees, and that's going to be plus 100. Now this plus 100, the h over tan 40 degrees replaced this x, and so we have to add 100 to this whole thing. So we could go about solving for h. We could multiply both sides by h over tan 40 degrees plus 100, and then go from one to the other side, and we would really fill up this paper, take a long time from your test. But we have something we call a numerical solve that we can use in our calculator, and we'll resort to that. And again, to get to end solve, we press menu 3, 1. Okay, so what we have is an equation on the left side. I'm going to have to periodically perhaps look back, but we have the tangent of 30 degrees, and that's going to be equal to, we have a control division. We're going to have h, but we're going to call this x here. So we have h over, and we're going to have, in this place of x down here, we're going to have h over the tangent of 40 degrees. So we're going to say x over tangent of 40 degrees and then come out here and put plus 100, and then we're going to say comma x, and then just go back and kind of look to make sure, okay, we have tangent 30 and everything looks good here. Let's go back and press enter, cross your fingers, don't get an error miss. So we get 185.1 feet roughly. So h 185.1 feet. And that's going to be our multiple choice answer, C. Guys, you can kind of go old school and work out this equation above with numerical solve. You'll be able to make pretty quick work of this problem. It's just the main challenge is making sure you draw your triangles right and make them so you can work out this problem for easy. And I really encourage you to look at problems 18A and 18B. And this problem of this caliber should only be on the pre-AP version of the test. So you guys that aren't taking pre-AP version, you don't really need to spend as much time on this one, though it would be good for you and maybe a challenge to do that. Good luck. Thanks for viewing.